Record. Okay, would anyone like to start? Anyone have anything that they want to share?
I'll go. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was feeling kind of low yesterday, and I was really kind of embarrassed to share this because I was supposed to have had a party start on Monday that I never wrote down. I had it in my phone but never wrote it down on my planner, and I forgot, and I realized last night. Fortunately, she's a friend of mine, so I texted her. I was like, I am so sorry, and I've got her set up for next week. But I was like, how can I forget a party? Like that's like the bare minimum you have to do is have parties. And I was really kind of very upset with myself actually, because I was like, I don't even know how I could have done that. And I just thought, what a terrible person I was.
Not a terrible person at all, first of all. What do you have as far as your tracking system? What do you typically use?
I have just a planner just my day planner that I usually just write all of them. I write in there the days that they're supposed to start. But for whatever reason, I had texted her and I just had never moved it over into my planner. So it was just in my text. Yeah, like not even in my notes or anything, just in my text messages. And I just had so many other messages that her name got dropped down to where I wasn't seeing it. And then I forgot to move it. Like, I don't know why I didn't do it that day whenever I scheduled it with her. I don't know if I didn't have my planner on me or what was the deal, but
it happens. I know you have, Jen, I think you probably have heard me talk about, because I used to do stuff like that all the time. My planner would be upstairs. I was downstairs. I was thinking, oh, I've got to do this, but I wasn't at a place to write it down. I was constantly going, what do I need to remember? What was I supposed to do? And then we talked about, how our brains only can hold 4 things at a time. And so that's where I use that notes on my phone. Yeah. And if I am like not anywhere near my planner, I just stick it in there. So at least I'll remember it. And then when I am near my planner, then I'll go, okay, what was I supposed to write down or remember? And then I'll go back in. And since I've started doing that, that has helped with some of that.
Well, I need to make a routine of like checking my notes on my phone every night. Like, have a specific note that's for all the stuff that day, and then go through almost like my brain dumping at night. I go through the next morning and look at what it was that I, was thinking about that I needed to do or whatever, and I look back through it. And I need to do that at night also with the stuff that I've done throughout the day.
Right, exactly. All right, Sarah, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say, when I started shooting for director, I had all these potential people in my head that in my mind, they were it. Like they were going to sign. They were so positive. They were asking questions about it. And then like, as I'm going through, they're not as into it as I thought they were. And so that's kind of discouraging, but I just know that I've got to keep trying for other ones.
Did you talk to, what about the one that you were talking with today? Did she end up?
She's thinking about it. So I let her know, like, if you have any questions about it, let me know, and I'll hit her up again tomorrow. So it's Jessica.
Oh, is it?
Actually, which kind of surprised me.
Just tell her she asked to. No, just kidding.
Yeah, right.
What about your other?
Danielle?
Yes.
She has yet to contact me, and I don't want to just text her and bug the living daylights out of her every day. So I was going to give her a couple of days and then text her back.
Yeah.
Because she was making a list of questions she had. And so I wanted to give her a chance.
Good.
Yeah.
She was asking me a bunch of them, so that's good.
Yeah.
And let me know if I need to do a call with her.
Okay.
I'll see her on Saturday. If she hasn't talked to you by Saturday,
I'll let you know.
Let me know.
I'll stick you on her.
I'll get on her. All right. Anyone else have anything they want to share? Okay. So let's go in another direction. And I would love to hear some things that you feel are going good right now. Ways that you feel like you have been booking shows, or ways that you've been reaching out to people and having good conversations. How your shows are going, anything like that has made you feel like you're having success right now.
I've sold 75 paring knife sets.
That is more than me, just so you know. That is a lot of paring knives.
Well, I realized it was a big amount when I tried to put them in.
Yeah, and you can't.
To a party, and it was like, you've exceeded the limit. I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad, but 50 is the limit. So if anybody hits 50, you can hit 50 per person. So I'm having to create people to put these paring knives on.
I love it. That's awesome. How many in sales is that? 75.
Well, I have a couple other, like I have a few other things, but it's like close to 500.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And so what I did was I just said that so obviously it's a party. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to use the 60% off to get the quick cooker. And then I'm putting everyone's name that purchased one every time. For every set they purchase, their name goes in a drawing for the 50% off item.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So right now I think we're at 4 50% off items. So 4 people have the opportunity to get a 50% off item.
That's cool. It helped one of my hosts, because when I left one of my cooking shows last week, she only had like 3 people there. And I mean, her sales were like at 300 or something. And I mean, now I closed a party today, which was over $800. So it's adding stuff to, her order, because not everyone necessarily wanted the knives, but they reached out for me for different things. Or they said, hey, I want the knives, and can I go ahead? Hey, by the way, I was looking, and what is this product like? And they add other stuff to that knife order. So I got some orders that, like I just got a $50 order today, and she only ordered 1 set of the knives. The rest of the stuff she ordered.
Right.
Additional stuff. So awesome. Anyone else?
I was pretty excited because one of the first people I signed up was she had told me at the time she was not interested in selling. She's even given me all of her catalogs that she got because she didn't want to use them. But in order to get her active, to count as one of my active recruits, I texted her yesterday, and she has her granddaughter has a school trip coming up. And I said, hey, use a fundraiser to help pay for this school trip that they have. And so I took her another catalog back, and she's going to kind of fundraise and try and get an order put in, which will at least make her active. So that'll give me 4. And I just need 1 more, which I have a couple of ideas. Hopefully one of the 3 will pan out. So.
Yay. That's awesome, girl.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I would get her to put an order in. She's very kind of stubborn, stuck in her ways, I guess.
Yeah.
I've got one of those. My only one is that way, so.
We're going to get her active this month, though.
Ugh.
Whether we have to put knives under her or not.
Yeah. We may have to.
You need another name. Just put them under her.
I was going to say, those last 25 knives, save them.
Right.
They're going to be another order. Your just in case order.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyone else?
Hi.
Hi. I just got out of the shower. Just got back from baseball and went and took a quick shower. Supposed to be going to bed.
Cool. Did they win?
Well, he's 6 and under, so they don't keep score. But he did hit the ball twice. Got on base once. And then I wasn't actually keeping the score. They were playing at the same time, and so I couldn't keep the score on his big brother's game because I was back and forth between fields.
That's
Gotcha.
Lay down.
Lynn, Tammy, do you guys have anything?
Go lay down. That's not laying down. Go.
Really, I mean, I have parties going right now, so I'm keeping up with those, and I'm doing 2 parties for one of my consultants at the same time, so I'm doing 5. And then I have one next week, and then I have a cooking show. So, because I'd reached out to somebody, and she was like, do you not do cooking shows? Sure, I can do that. I have one day I can do that this month. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Made it work. So, yeah.
How are your ones going right now that you have going?
2 of them are actively participating. One of them, I'm pulling teeth with her, but she's done shows before. So,
Bless you.
I'm just kind of keeping up with her and seeing where we're at.
I just finished my second day of pre-post with one of my virtual shows that I have going right now. And I told her, I called her tonight, and I said, I noticed that we have about 5 or 6 that are actually seeing the posts. And I said, really, I want that around 25 or so. And so I told her, I said, what I want you to do is I want you to go in and I want you to personally message everyone. And I want you to let them know that you invited them to this party, that they need to click OK in order to see the post. And I told her that to start tagging people. And I let her pick which theme she wanted. And so she picked 5 themes. And she was like, oh, a lot of the moms that I have invited, my family members, they're into baking, so let's do the baking one. I have a lot of young moms that I've invited, so let's do the microwave one because they really are going to be into the microwave stuff. And she had people that she was thanking for each of the themes, and she was like, I have a friend, that's opening a bakery right now. I'll be sure to tag her in all the bakery ones, because I told her, be sure that you're tagging people in each post that you are posting. And then she was like, oh, I have that egg cooker. She said, on the microwave day, I'll be sure to go in or the breakfast day. She said, I'll be sure to go in and, cook something in my egg cooker and share it, So having that conversation with her and letting her know, I'm not seeing a lot of participation yet. Here's how we can get it up. Here's what I need you to do. Early on in the party is really crucial to the success, of the party. So, because the last one I did that, her exactly what I just did tonight, her sales ended up being over 500. So that makes it a huge difference. And giving your host goals this month, and I know, Tammy, you've talked with some of them. There are certain things that they want, and reminding the host and saying, okay, your show right now is at 100 in sales, you just got this much in orders, let's keep going, now your show's at this, and just really encourage them.
Well, I know last month I had a show, and I have the graph that shows, where we're at in sales.
Mm-hmm.
My host was going for the double burner grill pan. So instead of putting a star or something, I said, let's help her reach the grill pan. And I walked the grill pan up the thing. So one of my hosts this time is going for the quick cooker. So I'm walking the quick cooker up,
Awesome.
Get her to the, quick cooker. Let's reach the first goal. And then so that really helped last month. The guest had fun trying to get her there, and it kept her motivated.
Right.
So that was fun. So I don't remember who had originally posted that in what group, but I saw that and I was like, I like those. I'm stealing that because that's really cute.
Yeah.
And you can be so creative with it.
Yeah, that's a good
Good
idea.
My struggle is working full time and keeping up with parties, and and that's really where I struggle, is not to remember to interact with them at some point, because I'm real good about getting it posted and getting everybody going, But then if I don't do anything in between, then it's not going to go anywhere.
And it's not going to go anywhere. You're exactly right. Because I've done parties, before when I shouldn't have even scheduled them, it's just a crazy time or whatever. And I've noticed that too. When you are not fully invested, you're commenting back when they're commenting, or, you're getting excited, and, it does make a difference in your parties, so if you can schedule a time, maybe in the morning at lunch break, where you can try to go on, and interact some, and schedule those times, then it does make a pretty big difference on how your parties. And I don't know if you guys noticed on the outline, some of those games, they ask them to message you the answers. And the reason that they message you the answers is because that starts a conversation. So they're messaging you the answers, and you respond back and say, awesome. You're going to get, however many tickets, for however many it says in the post, for, messaging me. Have you enjoyed the party so far? Or do you have any Pampered Chef products, or whatever you're going to ask, how do you know the host, or, whatever it is that you want to ask them. It just kind of starts that conversation. What do you have, as far as Pampered Chef products, anything like that. So when you open up that conversation, you have that back and forth with them. Then when you're reaching out to people towards the end of the party, about bookings or the business, or saying, you have been amazing in this party. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? You could start this business, for $29 this month, then, it makes a big difference. And if I were you guys, what I would be doing in my virtual parties, like I'm going to go live in my virtual party tomorrow. I'm going to have that quick cooker sitting on the counter. And I'm not only going to talk about how they can host and get it for 60% off, I'm also going to talk about how they can get it for free when they join our Pampered Chef team this month. Because pointing out those two things and kind of showing the quick cooker, talking about it, getting excited about that live video, and then talking about how we can get it, for free, I think will make a big difference as well. So I really encourage you guys to try to do that in your virtual parties. And if you don't have a quick cooker, you can borrow mine and take the videos. Or
I need it tomorrow.
Yes, or come over, and Lynn, you can come over and we can make a video together. But I really think that will make a big difference as well, because I've just noticed when it comes to people booking shows, or when it comes to people joining your team, they have to want to, it has to be something that they want to do personally. Otherwise, they're not going to keep that booking, or they're not really going to, sign up and be interested. So when you pique their interest and you're like, hey, you can get this for free, you can sign up this month for Pampered Chef. It's the first time, this is the only month that this has ever been offered, where you can sign up for this business for $29. So every one of your hosts, you should be sharing that with, definitely. And then people in your parties, you should be sharing that with. So I'm going to be going live, because it's my first day of my actual party. I'm going to be going live tomorrow and sharing all of that with them for sure. So what about you, Lynn?
I have 2 parties scheduled, and a third person. I don't have it booked yet, but I kind of sat on the bench for the last couple of weeks, but I'm getting back in there. I've made all my copies. I've made my host packets. So that's where I'm at.
Good. Does Jessica, were you able to talk with Jessica about scheduling her party this month?
Yeah, I was with her last night, and I showed her the host packets, so I thought I might just throw some together for her, and I explained what they were and when you should hand them out. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to help her with her first virtual.
Awesome.
What are you doing?
Awesome.
No, you're not.
Okay, I had one of my friends, one of my executive friends. You have probably seen her on some videos, some Paper Chef videos, and you probably saw her videos if you went to conference. You might have seen her, part of her videos up on the screen and stuff. But she did a video for me about recruiting. So I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to put you guys on mute for just a second. I'm going to share the screen, and so we can watch this video together. So just a second as I do this.
Get ready for bed.
Hey, you guys, Mary Haynes here, Executive Director from Florida. Melody wanted me to share some recruiting tips with you guys to help you max out this $29 special that is going on right now. Hope you guys are super excited. $29 for someone to get started. Oh my goodness. So amazing, this gift that Pampered Chef has given us, along with the ability for them to earn the quick cooker in their first 30 days. Hello. So awesome. So I hope you guys are taking advantage of that. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and just some strategy for how to max this out. First of all, if you are someone that has been thinking about promoting to director, or maybe team leader, wherever you want to go, this is the month to do it. Okay, this is the month. With this $29 special, we really have the ability to touch so many different people's lives. So here's how you're going to do that. First of all, you got to start with a goal. All right, everything has to start with a goal. If you don't have a goal, you don't know where you're going. So what is your goal for how many new team members do you want? If you're starting out at 0 and you want to be a director by the end of the month, I would probably set my goal at like 6 or 7, maybe 8, 9, 10. If you already have a few team members, then I would take your personal high month and double it is what I would do. So I know for me, that's what I did. That's what I set my recruiting goal at. So think about your goal first and make sure it's reasonable based on your show schedule. If you have one show on your calendar right now and you want to recruit 8 people, that's going to be a little hard. So you may have to beef up your show schedule a little bit. Okay. We should be walking away from our shows with about 3 recruit leads per party. So make sure, and one of those is your hostesses, guys, especially this month. So make sure that you are making those contacts on your parties, building interest for the business on your parties. And if you already have a list of recruit leads to follow up with, that's a great place to start. So if I want to add 5 team members, I'm going to come up with a list of about 50 people, right? So come up with your list of about 50, and then what you're going to do is you're going to start reaching out. But I don't want you guys to post stuff on Facebook, okay? Here's the deal, guys. This business is about relationships, so don't just go post the image and say, oh my goodness, what a great deal we have for you. You must join my team this month. Who wants in? That is not appealing. It comes across as salesy, and it's just not something that is coming from the heart. All right, this $29 kit should come from sincerity. It should come from your heart. It should come from you wanting to make that person's life better because your life is better because of Pampered Chef, okay? So personally reaching out. So what you're going to do, what I do each month actually, is I reach out to my list. I have a running list of people who just weren't quite ready to join yet. And at the beginning of the month, and even though it's the middle of the month, that's okay, I reach out to them and I say, hey Melanie, hope you're doing well. Just circling back around because Pampered Chef just announced the new consultant special for September. Would you like me to send it to you? Always enter the question, guys. Always enter the question. And so when they say, yeah, go ahead and send it. Most of the time they say yes. I don't have many people say no. And then I'm going to send it to them and I'm going to say, what do you think? Okay, this is going to start the conversation with them about the special. Right? On your parties, make sure if you're doing virtual or you're doing in-home parties, make sure you're building desire for the opportunity. Play some games that get them to guess your paycheck. And guys, don't be shy about your paycheck. Most of the time, the conversations that I have with people about the opportunity, they're only wanting to make $300 to $500 a month. So if your paycheck is anywhere in that range, be proud out loud about it, man. Even if it's more, even if it's less, you don't know what that person is looking for. So you be honest and share your paycheck. You could do a guess the paycheck game. You could do a any sort of game where they are guessing, what you make, or Q&A. Make sure on your virtual parties you're doing a Q&A, and then answer those questions on there. You can give them extra tickets or put their name in a drawing or whatever you normally do on your virtual parties. Just make sure you're building desire. You also, on your parties, you want to be talking about the quick cooker, because hello, that's the special, right? So you want to build desire for the quick cooker, and then when someone's like, oh my goodness, I need that in my kitchen, you could say something like, you want me to show you how to get it for free? Build desire for the product. That may be enough to get them to jump, right? Okay, so you've got your goal, you've got your list of people to reach out to, you build the desire at your parties, and then what about those actual recruiting conversations? Those actual recruiting conversations are not that hard, you guys. If you are struggling with recruiting, I would check the words that you're saying. Make sure you're checking the words that you're saying. Make sure when I look at a recruiting conversation, they're usually screenshots on my phone. I want to make sure when I'm checking the conversation, I'll show you guys what it looks like. I want to make sure that the conversation looks a lot like that. Okay, it's me going back and forth with them, right? Where they're talking and I'm talking. I don't want it to be all me talking and them saying, okay. You want to make sure you're asking questions and listening for the answer. Even if it's over Messenger, you want to listen. You want to leave the conversation and say, am I listening more than I'm talking? Because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So if you will listen to them and actually ask some strategic questions, like, what do you want Pampered Chef to do for you? Are you in the market for extra income? Would you be interested in virtual or in-home parties? Like, ask questions and get to their why, right? And then you'll be able to get them to sign up. It's pretty simple. It's just a conversation. And don't be so scripted in your conversations that it's not real. Just talk to them. This is you building a relationship with your potential team member. Okay. If you're struggling with that, I encourage my team to send me a 3-way message. Get me on a 3-way message or send me screenshots. So a lot of times they'll just take a screenshot and send it to me, and I will type in what to say next. So reach out to your upline and say, hey, I don't know what to say next. And I promise you, they will help you figure out some words to say. There's also some great training on the on Consultants Corner from PCU. There's also those digital interview cards if you're struggling with questions to ask. You guys use the resources that we have, all right? So make it happen this month. Fall is magical. I say that all the time for my team. So fall is magical. So you're going to set a goal. You're going to start reaching out to past people that maybe haven't jumped yet. You're going to build some desire on your parties and reach out to people on your parties as well. So when those people answer those Q&As and they're asking strategic questions, friend request them. Or if they're at a home party, you're going to talk to them at the party and say, hey, you had some great questions during the Q&A. Have you ever considered doing what I do? Or are you in the market for extra income? Your hostesses, guys, 5 times. You should be asking your host 5 times. Claudia Bazaar has a great image floating around there, a checklist for how to ask your hostess 5 times. So lots of ways that you can make this happen this month. So go get them, guys. Set a goal. Make it happen. Super excited for you guys. See you later.
Okay, so what did you guys think about that?
That was good.
So were there some aha moments or some takeaways that you guys wrote down?
I like to share your paycheck, even if it's not huge.
Yeah, because like she said, 300. I mean, in that I can honestly say, because every time I get a recruit, I say, what is your goal? what would you like to make in this business? And it's always like
A small
anywhere
amount.
from 300 to 500 usually. So there are some big hitters that say like 4,000, but majority of them say anywhere from 300 to 500 for sure. What else did you guys get out of it?
I'm curious, who was it that she said that we should check out? Says, ask the host 5 times.
Okay, we have that graphic. We have that graphic. That graphic is, I'll have to find it, Lynn, and I can send it to you. It's how to ask your host 5 times. But it's just the 5 different ways. And it's basically talking about how, you know, when you book the party, you're asking your host, or, you know, when you have that conversation about the party with them and you're doing host coaching, you know, just, you know, what for things that they need to be doing in the party. One of the last things I'll say is, have you ever thought about doing something like this? You know, and whether they say yay or nay from the beginning, that's kind of my first touch point, you know, and then I kind of watch throughout the party. And if I see that their participation is great, like they're tagging people, they are, you know, first go to bed, son. Okay, well, you walking around is not going to help you go to sleep, son.
Go to bed.
Karsten, go. I'm on a phone call. Go. Well, then go lay on my bed and do not even touch that TV. You understand me? Go. So the second time, you know, I'm watching in the party. You've been amazing. You know, I love, you know, I think you'd be so great at this. Just dropping a little hint like that, you know, and then I'm talking to them about, hey, by the way, if you do sign up, then love of Pete. Quiet. Seriously? Oh my gosh. So, so then I'm going to say, hey, did you know that we can use some of your free towards your kit? You know, and I'm asking them, you know, and letting them know that we could bring that price down by $25 or $50, you know, and then I'm going to ask them.
Go to bed.
Apparently all children. And the moon is not
I
full.
wasn't muted.
The moon was not full. So, so that's kind of the 5 different ways that I am, you know, reaching out to my host throughout the party. Now, I like how she pointed out about the conversation being, you know, back and forth conversation, where it's not just you trying to shove like throw up on them all of this information, and then they go, okay. Yeah. And then you throw up, but you really need to hear about how amazing this is, and it's this, and 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 they're like, all right. You know, so I like how she says everything ends with a question. Make them respond back to whatever it is that you're asking. So with any of you guys, you know, if you get in a conversation with someone that, I mean, Sarah sent me today, someone that said, tell me about the $29 kit. She's like, what do I say? So I typed up just a short little paragraph of just kind of the basic bullets of, you know, what I would say to someone that just kind of asked me, tell me about the $29. And, I mean, I didn't go into like everything, you know, because you want them to just read it, but you want to capture their attention enough that they are thinking about it too. So anything else that she said that you guys, that stuck with you?
That was one for me on just stopping to listen, that, you know, to for that have ears in one mouth. I tell my kids that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I've stopped myself with that this week, because I have one that went a couple months ago, but her husband convinced her not to because of the price. So I messaged her today and said, hey, you know, we have this amazing deal. You know, would you like more information or something? I don't remember exactly how I said it, but I started it short, and I had this whole blurb, and I went, okay, I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. You know, it's just because I think we just get so excited about it that we feel it all. But you've got to have that conversation with them too.
Yep.
So, and that it's not just now that we have the $29 kit, it's every month. And don't just post it directly on Facebook, you know, have that personal conversation with them one way or the other.
Right.
To make
That is exactly right. Exactly. Is there anyone else?
I just like how she said to check the words that you're using, because I feel like I say it to Kayla all the time. I'm like, I need you to read this over and tell me what I should say. Like, I'm always so worried about how I say things that it's not gonna sound the way I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which I mean, I'm already aware of it, but I like the fact that I'm not the only one who's like, oh, you need to check about the way you're saying things.
Mm-hmm.
And ending with questions. I try really hard to come up with a question, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what question to ask.
Yeah.
But
well, that's where we come in handy.
Yeah.
For sure. But and do know this, that sometimes it takes talking to several people in order to get someone to say yes too. You know, if you're like, man, I've been working on this one person. Well, you're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket if you have one person you're beating to death, you know, with sharing the opportunity with, you know. So just be sure that you are, you know, like she said, you have a running list of people that you are, you know, talking with and that is interested, you know, and that you've thought through, you know, from that stay-at-home mom to someone that you've noticed talks about how they don't like their job all the time, to someone that talks about, I mean, cooking, like posts like every cooking video imaginable, you know. So, I mean, be watching, you know, people like that are like, oh, my job, I've got to go into work today, man, it's Monday, you know, stuff like that, that you're kind of dropping those hints to them. And I think that, I mean, she's right. You haven't seen me post anything about the $29 kit on Facebook yet. Because right now I'm working on reaching out individually, you know, to people. So I think at some point I may say something about it just to, you know, to announce it. But I also want to be sure that I am reaching out individually to those people, you know, that I've been working with, or especially those people that they have not wanted to sign up because it's too much.
Yeah.
You know, we hear that so much. Well, and I think I'm going to go through, if you guys have added people to the opportunity event before, I think I may even go through the people in our opportunity event and personally message them all.
I was working on that with the people that I added. I was trying to go back and
Figure that out.
added in there because I've added people and I forgot about them. It's like, oh, you were interested. Well, you're not anymore. And then you just let go.
Right.
That was one of the things that was really on my list, was to go back into everything and remember who I added where and who was still interested and go back to my list.
Awesome. Anything else you guys got? Okay. Did that graphic make sense that I posted in our message yesterday? That's kind of the stuff that we've been talking about, you know, with the 2,500. So I put down there 750 in sales or 3 shows, because sometimes, you know, if they have their grand opening and then a couple of their shows and they're at least, you know, each qualified, then we're okay. But some of you already have team members. And so if you can get those three of your team members, you know, and I say 750 because, I mean, that puts you a little bit over and allows you only to have 2 that just need 150. They don't even need a complete show, you know. So it ends up, I mean, if you have some people that hit 200 instead of the 150, then that's going to bring the other people down a little bit, you know. So it's kind of a numbers game with, you know, where it ends up, but it kind of gives you an idea of where each person kind of needs to be in order to hit that. And obviously the higher your sales, the lower their sales have to be, always, you know. So that's something, you know, that when people are going for directorship, I always say go as high as you can on your sales, so you are not, so if every person on your team has to submit 150 in sales, great, you know. So just try to get yours as high as you possibly can. So, do you guys have any additional questions at all? Anything?
When is the next opportunity event?
Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going to I need to write myself a note to ask someone that told me that they were going to share a new outline with me for the opportunity event. So I'm going to write myself a note to get that going. But yeah, it's going to be on Sunday. So anyone, and I'll probably go live, you know, and talk about the $29 kit and what that looks like and what comes in it, and, you know, how they can get the quick cooker and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so be sure to invite. I'll post about that tomorrow, about the opportunity event. So, and if you end up having people on there, be sure to jump on so you can, you know, like their comments and respond to them so they can see, you know, that you're there too. So it'll start at 8. So, all right, ladies. Well, I am going to respect your time and not let this be more than an hour. So I did record it. So the other two that weren't able to jump on in time, I'll share it with them. So, but keep pushing.
I have one more question.
Yes.
When you record it, will that little snippet recording be in there from the other lady?
Yes. Yes. It will.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I'd like to watch that again.
Yep. When I post it, it'll be in there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, ladies. Post in our group when you have, you know, things that are going well. If you got a booking, if you have someone interested, anything that is going on this month, okay? Because you guys, like I said, you're going to have those ups and you're going to have those downs, and we want to cheer you on, and we want to help you, okay? So you guys are all kind of in the same boat, going for the same goals. So, and I picked you guys to be in this group, but I will tell you, we have 4 others for sure that are going for it as well, that are not in this group. So, that are under different other people on our team. So, so it can be awesome. And I talked with someone today about making something that I'm giving to all the directors, and you guys will be the first ones to have it. So, do you know that? But yeah, it's going to be a big celebration in our next meeting. So, Jenna,
Yes.
better have it on your calendar, dear.
Okay. Yeah. Instead of my party.
Hey, it's okay. But we would like you there.
Yes. Well, I want to be there.
So, all right, ladies, you guys have a good evening. I'm going to go put my son, who's laying on my bed.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
all right, guys.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.